everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about my plans for after sixth form, considering that we are nearly at the end of year 13, which is a terrifying thought. But okay, essentially I don't have a complete plan. This is still being worked out, but I've reached more of a conclusion than I did have, so I thought I would make a video just talking through my plans, because why not? So if you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know that I've wanted to go into law, and I've spent a very long time working towards doing a law degree. So for example, even behind me now, I've got this beautiful book about law. I've done work experience very recently with a law firm. I've gone to lots of summer schools about law. The subjects I picked were suitable for law, but I've really sort of hit a little bit of a slump and lost my passion for the subject. Not completely. I do still like law. I could still see myself maybe going into a legal profession, but I don't feel passionate about sitting there and doing a law degree for 3 years. It's just not something I can see myself doing anymore. But the unis I want to go to aren't in clearing, so I think I'm going to take a gap year and reapply for English with, I haven't decided, either with history or classical civilization at St Andrews, because after doing my research I fully fall in love with the uni. Everything about it. I love the modules of the English and classical civilization course. I love the accommodation. It's something I can actually afford, the accommodation. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So my reasons for not wanting to do law anymore, there's a lot. That's a whole separate video in itself. But as I've been saying in quite a few of my recent videos, I've really started to become passionate about English Lit, mostly because of my coursework, but also from the fact that I'm finally actually understanding it. It was really a subject I struggled with in year 12, which made me not like it as much. But now I'm sat there and I'll be reading a book and I will find myself analysing the language and the structure and how it adds meaning to the text and what the author's intentions might be. I find myself actually considering that. Whereas before I might have been like, the door is blue, which suggests this, but I wouldn't actually think that. I'd just be regurgitating, like the English teacher means. But now I can actually see where it might shape the meaning. And I also think the way that the past has influenced literature, both through history and through old texts. So Wilfred Owen, you can definitely see inspiration from the Odyssey and Strange Meeting. And he definitely does seem to reference like the ancient Greek stuff. Yeah, history and classical myths and literature really do seem to influence modern texts, or like not necessarily modern, but like later on texts. So I think the subjects go really well together, and I do love the modules. They've got a whole one on Gothic romance, and the Gothic is my favourite genre of all time. It's what I did my coursework on. Not that I had a choice, that's what my school was doing, but I did really enjoy it, and I enjoyed researching it, and I enjoyed reading the books, and I enjoyed coming up with my own opinions, and I enjoyed arguing it, and I loved seeing how my ideas developed as I worked on that coursework. And knowing that at uni you're going to be writing lots of essays like that, and I definitely think I would enjoy it. And I have always been a fan of English. I was reading reports from my primary school and it was like, yeah, she likes English. Although I do remember I really hated it in year 8, but that's because my teacher hated me. She really hated me, I don't know why. And I did hate it in year 12 because I struggled with it, but now I really like it in year 13. And I've never done classics, so that's another thing about this gap year. I'm going to see if I can do a course, whether it's an open uni one or it's a 1-year A-level, which I'm not entirely sure I can do. I have been looking into that. Like I've spoken to a careers advisor who's going to look into it for me. I've spoken to one of my teachers who's going to look into it for me, but I'm not entirely sure how that would work, but it might work. I'm also going to get a job so I can get some nice savings before I go to uni, because that's one of the things that's put me off going this year. As well as the fact, obviously, about not feeling passionate about law. I was looking at the accommodation, and the one that I liked, it wouldn't be really viable. So I was hoping to save up a bit of money so then I can get the accommodation I want next year, because I do hold an offer at Bristol and I haven't rejected them yet. So I'm sat here like, maybe I will go this year, but it's really not looking likely. I really don't think I want to go this year. There's also the whole thing about COVID and, you know, will we actually get it? But that's not really my main motivation. My main motivation is I don't think I want to do law. I especially like the course offered by St Andrews and they're not in clearing. And I think I need some time to think about what I want to do, because I'm even considering just going and doing an apprenticeship. I really like the BBC one, but I missed the deadline for that. So if I wait a year and then apply for that, and it's kind of funny because last year I was like, oh, all of the year 13's deferring is going to make things so much harder for our year. And yes, it did. Thanks for that. And it's like you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain meme. Except I'm not taking the gap year just because of COVID. I don't want to be sat there paying for a degree I don't want to do, because I don't feel passionate about it. And I do like Bristol, but I also don't feel passionate about going there either. I was in a group chat and it put me off a bit. It really put me off. But I don't know. I could still go do law at Bristol, but I'm also really thinking take a gap year and do English. Even if I don't get onto the joint honours one, just do English. I love English. And everyone always says they see me as an English teacher, and someone said I was like a mini version of my current English teacher, because we both constantly quote the lines of literature. That's something I love to do, and I do really pick up on the quotes. I will read a text like twice and then I'll be quoting it. There's me with the flea, mark but this flea and mark in this, how little that which thou deniest me is, it sucked me first and now sucks thee, and in this flea our two bloods mingled be. Just quoting it. I don't even know if that was correct. That was The Flea by John Donne. I'm talking of John Donne. He's one of the people studied in the St Andrews modules. I really like their modules. So I definitely think that's going to be a gap year thing, and maybe I'm going to go into teaching afterwards. Although, as I say, I do still like law. Maybe could still see myself going into law, but I was in my work experience and they were like, yeah, a lot of lawyers don't actually do law degrees. You do a degree you want and then you do the graduate diploma in law and then you can go into it. And it will be later, especially with my gap year, and going to be in my late 20s by the time I actually start my job. But I could still go into law, basically, with an English degree, but it also opens the option for me to go into teaching or media, which are both things that I may be considering. I don't know. I'm not completely sure what I want to do, but I know that I don't really want to do a law degree anymore. Yeah. Sorry, it's a whole video in itself about why I don't want to do law anymore. Getting laughed at in an interview wasn't fun. Not understanding basic definitions wasn't fun. Oh, that's a whole video in itself. But yeah, that's the plan. Gap year. And in my gap year, work, maybe do an A-level, save up some money, maybe get a driving license, because I haven't done any of my lessons yet because money and COVID-19, but we'll have to wait and see. So I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. We'll have to wait and see where everything goes. Who knows? I could be at uni this year, but equally I don't see that likely to be happening. I haven't sorted out my finance, I haven't sorted out my accommodation, and I don't think I'm going to. I just think I'm gonna release myself into clearing, but then not clear into anywhere, because I don't want to go to uni this year. So yeah, I will see you in the next video. Comment if you have anything you'd like to see next. I have so many things that I'm intending to film, but I have been in a bit of a crisis, but it's okay. I'm okay now. So I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.